Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the city of Evarts has been dealing with a water supply issue for nearly 2 years, leaving some to come home and wonder if the faucet will turn on. And Appalachian Save a Life Day saw 13 states participate and offer aid to prevent drug overdoses.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on September 15th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And Brandon, once we get past that fog this morning, it's going to be a beautiful day today. I know that we may see a few bumps in the road tomorrow and through the weekend, but other than that, it's going to be great.
Here's the thing. Other than a few bumps like you mentioned this weekend, we're going to come back out on the other side, and it's going to be nice again for most of next week. So we can't complain overall.
No,
but this morning there's not as much fog as there has been, so that's a plus. But we're still seeing some fog out there, patchy, dense fog. So give yourself plenty of time as you're heading back and forth this morning. I-75 Mount Vernon, no major issues up that way. A little bit more traffic than we typically see. Heading northbound this morning back up into central Kentucky. But again, we're kind of keeping an eye on that. 47 in Irvin and Clintwood, and still watching everybody else there that's close to 50. Hazard, Manchester, and Williamsburg. A lot of low to mid 50s out there this morning. Some upper 50s in Moorhead, Somerset, and over toward Jackson and Monticello. So just be aware of that. Day planner for today, heading up into the upper 70s. Lots of sunshine, very comfortable. Get outside and enjoy it. Day 2 Black Gold Festival, King Cole Festival going on over in Williamson. All kinds of things going on. Friday night football. Just get outside and do something today. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. Yesterday, a Fayette County Circuit Court judge sentenced Andrew Buster for the murder of 3-year-old Lillian Grace Reck. The Fayette County Circuit judge sentenced Buster to 40 years in prison. Prosecutors were originally seeking the death penalty, but Buster was found to have a mental disability which prevented him from being eligible for the death penalty by state law. Lillian's parents spoke during the hearing.
I begged to the Lord so I could forgive what you've done to some extent, but there ain't none. I can't forgive you for that.
Lillian done nothing to no one. She was a 3-year-old innocent child.
The prosecution says Buster will be eligible for parole after serving at least 20 years behind bars. A teacher and assistant coach at Belfry High School in Pike County has resigned, and the district superintendent says that teacher, Nathan Coleman, is being investigated. Superintendent Reed Atkins released a statement yesterday saying in part, quote, Pike County Schools is aware of the allegations of impropriety against a district employee. Atkins continued saying, quote, due to the nature of the allegations, several state agencies are involved in this matter. Therefore, we are very limited as to what can be discussed, end quote. You can read Atkins' full statement on our website at WYMT.com. The city of Evarts has been dealing with an ongoing water issue. Some people living in the area say they have gone without water periodically, and officials say they are in need of a new plant. However, they are struggling with funding. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more.
For nearly 2 years, the city of Evarts has faced issues regarding its water plant. Chief Water Plant Operator Woodrow Fields says their mine and well supplies have decreased significantly.
The current situation is our mine supply has depleted to just about nothing. It's just putting out about 50 gallons a minute, and we have seen our raw water wells, the levels in those fall down as well, and we're having to compensate for that.
Fields says they have had to insert water pumps into the river that he says will hopefully increase the amount of water well into the winter months.
So with those water levels falling to levels that we've never seen them fall to before, we've had to compensate in some way. So instead of taking weeks to get parts in and many more thousands of dollars to drill a new well, and that may be a hit or a miss, we have installed some pumps in the river to help with the supply to meet the demand.
Avery Ewing lives in Evarts, and he says this has impacted every aspect of his life, as well as other people in the area.
I mean, you don't never know if you're going to come home to water. You don't never know when the water's going to be on or when the water's going to be off. Sometimes we'll be without water for days with no advance warning. Sometimes we'll get water for 30 to 40 minutes, a couple hours at a time.
However, Fields says they do not have clarity either. He says he is not sure of the exact reason why they were denied funding.
The numbers that we're looking at is $5 to $7 million. And there's not a loan program out there that's wanting to just give you that amount of money. They want to see that you've got matching funds from some other source, and that gets the ball rolling. If you do get one source on board, that you can get the other sources that you need.
He says they are doing all they can to provide water to the city and surrounding areas. However, they are going to keep pushing to get the money they need. In Everts, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Field says the weather has not helped. He said the freeze last winter and the high temperatures this summer has had an impact on the amount of water they use. Health departments and emergency workers throughout Kentucky came together yesterday offering aid in preventing drug overdoses. More than 300 sites in 13 states took part in Appalachian Save a Life Day, including the Somerset Walmart. Free naloxone, also known as Narcan, was handed out by public health workers and emergency medical workers. Health leaders say having quick and easy access to Narcan is important because of the large number of overdoses they are seeing.
If they do not have a pulse or are not breathing, then of course you got to go into the CPR. CPR is a must of any situation of cardiac arrest, whether it's caused by CPR or any other situation. Narcan can be administered before CPR.
Health leaders say having quick, easy access to Narcan is essential because of the large number of overdoses they are seeing. The Kentucky Department of Education named the state's new interim commissioner yesterday. Robin Fields Kinney was named to the position. She's the State Department of Education's associate commissioner. She will take over for Commissioner Jason Glass, who will leave his job September 29th. He will be the associate vice president at Western Michigan University. The fall season is inching closer, and you could really feel it this morning. Soon we will be putting on those warmer clothes and start to see more leaves fall and change colors. Meteorologist Ben Beddoes explains what causes those fall color changes.
We are starting to notice it's getting a little cooler out and the days are getting shorter. Soon, we will start to see the leaves on the trees change color. Our area starts to see color change as early as the beginning of October, with our peak fall colors arriving by the end of October. While weather does have an influence on fall color change, it's actually the sun that has the greatest effect. Chlorophyll is what gives leaves their green color, but as nights get longer, chlorophyll stops being produced, revealing the other pigments in the leaves that have different color. Weather does have an influence, of course. Ideal weather for fall color involve warm sunny days followed by cool but not freezing nights. A weather setup like the one we are seeing right now later in the season would be perfect to bring in those bright, vibrant fall colors. What happens in the summer also influences the fall colors. A dry summer can delay the process of leaves changing color. If color change is delayed too much, the cold will take out the leaves before they reach peak color. Fortunately, our area is not in a drought. So as long as we don't see extensive warm periods of weather in the next month, and we don't get extremely dry, you can expect to see a good season of fall color. I'm meteorologist Ben Beddoes, WKYT.
Big Blue Madness is less than 1 month away. This year, tickets will be distributed exclusively online at Ticketmaster. That starts at 8 p.m. on September 29th. Because of an ongoing renovations at Memorial Coliseum, there will be no in-person ticket distribution this year. Big Blue Madness is set for October 13th.
.609 on the money this morning, and we were tracking just a little bit of patchy fog. It's really not showing up on many of the sensors, but again, just kind of keep in mind that it is here in Hazard this morning. We could literally see it on our camera on top of the roof of the station here. Pine Mountain not showing a whole lot up there. Changed the view on that camera to kind of look down the mountain there, but again, we're still seeing it, conditions that are pretty calm and quiet this morning. We're still looking at temperatures running in the 40s in Irvin and Clintwood, and then still 50 in Hazard, Manchester, and Williamsburg. Everybody else above that, but it is still a cool fall-like morning out there. We've had a couple of these here recently. A lot of folks were in the 40s yesterday, not so many today. 78 out there this afternoon, a carbon copy of yesterday. It was a fantastic day. It'll be another fantastic day, so get out there and enjoy it. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, today marks 60 years since the bombing of a church that killed 4 girls in Birmingham, Alabama, marking a pivotal point of change for the civil rights movement.